kedves barátaim, a mellettem ülő úriember, hívják, hogy Yoely Lebovits, és azon a néven fut, hogy a Pester Rebbe, a pesti rabbi. Angolul fogunk beszélgetni. How are you? Thank you very much for taking the time.
Köszönöm.
How you speak Hungarian though?
Nem beszélem magyarul, csak kicsit.
How do you speak Hungarian? How do you speak that little that you speak?
My mother was born in Csorna.
In Csorna.
She
Okay.
lived in Budapest.
Okay.
After the war, my grandfather was a Rebbe in the Cousins.
Really? In the cousins' shul right here.
Right here.
Okay.
The Chayder was there. My mother and her sister learned in the next to the Hana was the school, the Ishkola.
Hang on a second.
So my grandmother was
Gotta bring it probably
survivor.
closer so the microphone could be. Yeah, thank you.
My grandmother was a sole survivor from Nagy,
Kiváló,
and
Kiváló.
yes, after the war, she stayed alone. She had no siblings, no parents. She was madricha
Okay.
in a DP camp. My grandfather, he lost his wife and all his children, his 5 children, and he was a Rebbe for the kids. My grandmother wanted someone spiritual, someone who could teach her everything, even though she was way younger than my grandfather. My grandfather was almost 40, she was 17. But as soon as she turned 18, she asked my grandfather if she can have her as a teacher and a husband.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yes, and that's the rest is history. But 25 years ago, the first time I was crowned as the Pester Rebbe.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. How did you become the Pester Rebbe?
Because I was here
How you were here?
with my father. I started school.
Wait. Let's go back. Your father is a Rebbe.
My father is a
not
Rebbe.
more.
My father is a Mikushburg Rebbe.
Yeah, the Nikolsburg Rebbe, which is not Hungarian.
No, I mean Mikushburg is in Czech Republic.
That's true.
But he was born in a DP camp in Germany, but his father is from Kiskunhalas.
Ah, okay, so that's not Hungarian.
He was a shoichet in Kiskunhalas.
Really?
And his grandfather was in Derechkin, in Lodain, Pishpak Lodain.
Really? You know your way around here.
Oh,
You
great.
mentioned so many cities, I haven't been there.
Great grandfather from the school Nanash, from Hoydu Nanash. And so all the sides, we have Hungarian blood on our sides. So I always was very connected to Hungarian. My grandparents always spoke Hungarian between themselves. I didn't
It's like the
understand.
secret language.
Yes. I didn't know the secrets, but I knew how to imitate the secrets. So my grandmother would speak to each other and I would go, igen, meg ott mondja, hogy belakatot, azt mondja, hogy beleleket, mondja, hogy beleleket. The people who didn't speak Hungarian thought I spoke Hungarian.
Yeah.
People who did speak Hungarian were laughing, saying, you're not saying one word. So slowly I started learning a little bit. I remember hearing my grandma saying, igen, kicsit, halad, tessék, persze, egy persze, all these words, and I learned what it means. But slowly I got to learn a few words.
When you come here, when you come to this country, do you recognize, do you understand a little bit what's going on? Or it's too fast for you, or it's too modern for you?
No, I do understand.
Meaning the language is
The language,
different than your grandparents spoke a little.
it's interesting because it's much more, I would say, modern maybe.
Yeah.
Because I feel that the Hungarian they spoke is more expressive than over here. It's more like it's a little bit different, but still it's so heimish for us to hear anybody speak Hungarian. It's like, wow, they all know my grandmother's
I
language.
remember when I was like 14, 15, when I lived in New York, I was in yeshiva, so I spent many Shabbosim I spent in Williamsburg, and back then we're talking the 90s.
Yes.
It was full of Hungarians. Hungarian was the vernacular over there. You get, and I went into stores and I asked in Hungarian old ladies, and they were not surprised. They were not surprised of a young person speaking Hungarian. No young person speaking Hungarian. And when it's heard that it's
Exactly.
with the old people's
Same
language.
way when I go, even now I see Holocaust survivors, 93, 94, and I start speaking to them. I had it now. When you met me here, I came from Prague.
Yeah.
Standing in Prague by the clock over there.
Right.
And while we're waiting, I see a whole group of Israelis and a grandmother in a wheelchair. She's sitting there. She's visibly, she's
Thank you very much for holding the camera, by the way.
She's not from our generation. She's from previous generation. And I'm asking her, where are you from? mishkals. I said, oh wow. And I started speaking in Yiddish there. I started singing to Yiddish in there. I would sing now, but I was so hoarse because
of the young people. You're davening
for a big crowd. So I started singing, and she was like, wow. And then I started singing in Hungarian. Solo kokosh ma. And she started crying. She said, 50 years I didn't hear this song, maybe more.
Wow.
And the grandchildren were like, what is this? And she says, she Hungary Ati. She says in her Hebrew. She was so emotional, and she got up from the wheelchair, and she was crying, and she was thanking me. So I saw that the Hungarian that she probably didn't hear in a long time, and the song, and together reminded her of nostalgic moments.
Sure.
So when I come here, to me, you know, there's a very sad period over here.
Yeah.
And back to when I'm here, I told my children, if
that wasn't there, you probably would not live in, where do you live, in Muncie or where?
Yes, we'd probably be, maybe we wouldn't be in a big city because we want to.
Perhaps by now. But...
Yeah, and I was thinking Gingish. I drove by Gingish and said, oh, this is not, Mad.
So this is
Mad is awesome. Mad is awesome.
Imbodrokotaka is so beautiful.
Mad is awesome.
Yes, so I'm taking my children today to that.
Oh, you are going there?
Yeah, that's why we're eating now.
Very good, very good.
Afterwards, right away.
And I'm sorry I'm holding you up.
Don't worry, you're not holding me up. You're enhancing my trip. I'll tell you something. This young Kippur had such a beautiful.
So let's talk about that.
Moment,
there's a few questions I want to ask, and I'm sorry for your breakfasts are going to get cold. By the way, we're in Tel Aviv Cafe here in Budapest, so awesome.
You mean you're in Tel Aviv, but you're in
Tel Aviv in Budapest. Yeah, exactly. What do you say about that?
I was shocked to see how much Jewish presence. Since I was here 25 years ago, a lot of things popped up.
There is a renaissance. There is a renaissance.
But it's happening. And on one hand, I'm looking and I see there's also some frictions going on. And it's
I have a different take on this.
I want to say my take first.
Let's say it here. Since you're interviewing your different.
Yes.
You're being interviewed.
It's very
by the way,
this is
yours. It's yours, yeah. Kids, yeah. So what's your take on here?
I think that, like you say, competition creates growth. Hopefully, this friction can create it. That everyone should grow and everyone should flourish. And especially the community who grew up here. Like, you know, you're
yeah, I grew up here.
You know what it means
Sure.
to be the Magyar and to feel the Magyar feels pride.
Yeah.
And it could hurt sometimes when you're like denied the Magyarism.
So my take on this, I'm not big. I think when two Jews have a dispute, I wouldn't call it a fight. Let's say a dispute, a dispute. It just shows how good we have it. We don't have any problems. Is that what we worry about? In this business matter, in this business matter, is that your biggest concern? Great.
Okay.
Then we're having a good time.
It's true, but on the other hand,
for sure.
There's a certain culture that you hold on to. For
There's no fight like a
years.
family fight. There's no fight like a family fight.
That's my
because
point.
we love each other.
My point is,
We love each other.
we have to, in my opinion, and I'm my outsider, create one place where over there's no difference between anyone. And I had this idea to make a festival where everyone is welcome. And it should be a whole day of singing and dancing and shops and whatever you want to do. And everyone is welcome.
We're happy to see you.
And everyone is invited to present their part. Let everything be there. A Friday, and then as soon as it gets that evening, all the music stops. And a big Kabbalah Shabbat. I'm going to be able to volunteer. And I hope my voice will be back. And we should all have a party that, like the share is here already.
Good.
Just dancing and like take a street and like make it like never before. Budapest, look just like it used to be Budapest, now it's Budapest. It should be the Budapest Judy. And again, everyone should have their own place where they have their place where they're doing their thing. Everything's fine. Make your own shul. Everything's beautiful. But there must be some place where there should be, like you say, we're family first.
I'm bad.
Chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. one more question.
Pester
Pester. One more question to Pester. You're also, your career, I don't know how much you're busy with that nowadays, you also used to be, or you still are, a batchen. Okay, so most of my viewers are not Jewish, and could you explain what a batchen is?
So first of all, if I'll tell you what batchen is, I'll teach you a new word, but not in Hebrew and not in Yiddish. It's Aramaic. It's something that, it's interesting, but every Jewish person who studies Talmud or Zohar or anything from that period
Rabbinic literature,
will also speak a little Aramaic, ancient Aramaic. So batchen, which means, it means someone who makes people laugh, someone who's a joker.
A joker.
Yeah. So a batchen in our sense means also someone who is an officiator at weddings. There's a thing called mitzvah dance.
Yeah.
And
the mitzvah dance is that after the wedding, everybody takes the bride and they dance with the bride, but in a very modest way. They hold a gartel, they hold like a string, almost like a belt, a long belt, and then the father and then the father-in-law.
And the father is not carrying any bells. The father's holding the hands.
The father's holding. Yeah.
But the strangers, like the uncles and the friends, whoever wants to dance, the men and the women, they all sit together in the same room. It's basically family. And there's one person called the batchen. He gets up, he puts the mood light, he sets some jokes, and then he starts in a serious mode to call up and to thank the grandfather for all he did to get to this moment and bring him
praising with jokes and with,
and it's a very cozy
deep
moment,
messages.
deep messages. And there's also Kabbalistic things about mystical ideas that at this moment when you rejoice with your family, it's not only here, the people who are here, but also the people who have gone already, who've left already, the grandparents who are in the world to come.
Yeah.
Even their souls are coming to rejoice because they see all the work they've worked so hard. They see the fruit, they see the labor.
That's right.
And it's an amazing moment that you can connect to the people you love and lost, or even if you didn't know them but you heard that your grandparent was there.
Sure.
So you can connect with them. So it's a very moving moment and a very cozy moment to finish the night. After dancing, it's like a nice after party. It's drinking a little bit l'chaim,
Sure.
Singing, dancing, and praising each other and thanking each other. And like this, the final moment is when the Chusik Kala get up and they dance together. And that's like equivalent of the Shekhinah and Klal Yisrael dancing together in the ultimate dance, the dance up to eternal home.
That's right. Thank you very much, Rabbi Yoely Lebovits. Thank you very much for taking the time, and I hope to see you in Budapest or in New York, wherever.
Maybe next time. Let's together.
Yeah.
You're all invited. It's not only Zidós, it's everyone.
That's right. Thank you, L'chaim. Thank you.
Shabbos,